Hi, how's it going? I want to talk about House of Wax from 2005, but specifically the Shout Factory edition, because I wanted to kind of do a anatomy of a Blu-ray about it. I don't know, it seemed like an interesting film to take a look at. I haven't really dived into a lot of Scream Factory releases, so yeah, and I just watched it, so I figured, why not? It had a slew of special features that were really fun, so let's kind of dive into it. So this is actually the alternate artwork, as in the theatrical artwork, which I really, really like. It's beautiful, it's creepy, it's got a good vibe to it. So we're looking at packaging. This is the standard edition. I don't know if there was a limited, but there may have been a sleeved edition, slipcover edition. But it does come with the alternate artwork, which is emphasized on the disc as well as the artwork there. It's not bad as overall artwork goes. I don't dislike it. It is a beneficial set for the fact that the artwork on the back is the same as the artwork on the back. Just obviously this cover has the barcode. But yeah, it's one of those, montage, look at all these moments kind of deals. But also kind of not really. It's more of, the killer is in the center of the image, so I guess spoilers, but not really. But it's still got the thing of the Prey Slay display. It's got a good variety of images compiled into it. It's not about the kills, which I find to be quite nice, because usually a lot of slasher films or films that involve a lot of people getting murdered, usually when you get those as special edition releases from Arrow or Scream Factory or whatever, they will usually have new artwork, which will be a compilation of, look at all these bloody murders, like a lot of Argento films. It's really annoying if you don't want to be spoiled. There's enough artistic nature to it, so it doesn't exactly ruin it, but sometimes it can. I don't mind the alternate artwork, but I much prefer this artwork. It just kind of, it's stylized more for me. I dig it. But yeah, so it's a pretty standard case, pretty standard design. So it's fine. Again, if it was the slipcover version, I'd probably be a bit more high praise for it, but at the same time, that would just be the standard, Scream Factory slipcover where they just have a sleeve of the exact same artwork as the newly commissioned art. So, yeah, I don't think this actually says who did the newly commissioned artwork. I don't think Scream Factory really does that, which is interesting, because Arrow Video usually do, but it doesn't seem that way, no. Anyway, what did I think? What did I think about the picture and the audio? It comes with an automatic 5.1 DTS HD master audio. There's no alternative tracks, no alternative dialogue. There is English subtitles, and the feature is 113 minutes, and it's 1080p, 185:1. It looked good. It obviously, as it grew darker while I was watching it, the film grew darker, which was interesting. I could definitely see a remaster maybe punching up the image a bit better, but at the same time, it's still a made-on-film 2005 film. It doesn't have a huge amount of special effects, as in like digital effects, I should say. Most of those are like laddered in the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, which is mostly like compositing shots and shit. But yeah, so none of it really looks bad at all. Even the nighttime scenes look good. There's some camcorder stuff, which is kind of underplayed in the film, and I kind of prefer that. When they started bringing out the camcorder, I'm like, don't bring out the camcorder. They made it more of a item of significance for the characters rather than that of showing stuff through the camcorder. There's one particular scene with Paris Hilton where they do, which is quite funny when you see the end of the film, but at the same time, it is what it is. But no, video and audio was good. I have no real complaint with it. There's probably going to be some specific artifacts and stuff that if you really went into it, there would be problems. But at the same time, this could use a 4K UHD if Scream Factory ever wants it, because it would definitely benefit from, especially like the fact that there's a lot of wax figures, and it's very heavy on the production design kind of stuff, from like the standard, oh, it's the countryside of the US. It isn't, it's Australia. They filmed it in Australia, with like the kind of Texas Chainsaw-esque kind of approach, but then they've got the actual town and how everything's designed and displayed, and it looks good. So I can imagine it could look a bit better, but the sound design and everything was good. The 5.1 sounded good. I had no complaints with it. Yeah, you could hear the dialogue fine. You could hear the music fine. The surround sound effects was good. Yeah, no, as an overall, it's obviously not the best film that you'll ever see visually, but for the presentation that you get, it looks and sounds fine. Of course, you want to probably look at the special features. What are the special features like? I went through a slew of them, not a lot of them, but there is, because there's a lot of them here. Like, as it says, you have new interviews with actress Paris Hilton, which was a very fun, like, 8-9 minute long interview with her, where she was talking about the making of the film, how it was her first feature, the critical and fan response as well. So it was a good, like, again, this is a very reflective film to, like, this couldn't have been 2 years ago. No, it doesn't tell me what year that the Blu-ray came out. That's annoying. Yeah, it's not telling me when the Blu-ray came out, so that's very annoying. I hate when they do that. Either way, yeah, nicely reflective, same as with actor, it doesn't say his name. It really emphasizes the Paris Hilton one, but it doesn't say that there's actually an interview with Robert Ricard. He was the, like, love interest for Paris Hilton's character, which was interesting to look at. There was no other real actor interviews, so none of the other actors came back for interviews unless you look at, like, the archival footage and stuff like that, so they were the only two newer ones. But they're still nice, you know. His was pretty short in terms of what he talked about, but it was mostly the factor of how he got the role, and then the fact that he got to work with Paris Hilton, and how fun that was for him, which, of course, if you've seen the film, it seems like it was pretty fun for him. But yeah, no, I think the Paris Hilton one in particular was really fun to watch. She definitely has a great vibe and attitude towards it. She seems very personable, which is great. At least from what I've seen from what my girlfriend watches of, like, her, like, YouTube videos and shit. Like, she actually seems like someone who can be pretty down to earth, despite still being Paris Hilton. So yeah, still nice, well produced. I watched the interview of the composer John Ottman, which wasn't great. I didn't watch all of it because the audio was pretty awful. It's I don't know. It seems like maybe they didn't realize until after they filmed it that it was screwed up. So they're like, look, this is the best we're gonna get. We'll just go with it. So it's nice in terms of information about the budget he got for the music, and how he even said, I could have just done a synthesizer mix, but instead decided, no, I want an actual orchestra. I want this to feel like a real movie. So I appreciate that. It sounds good. It's a good score, I guess. Sure. The interview with the special effects supervisor, Jason Baird, was pretty fun, though, looking at the fact that, of course, moving production to Australia and filming all the different things from, like, the climax to the theatre scene, and all these different elements of how many wax figures they're going to use, when are they going to use people and just use put a face mold over them, like a latex mask for a couple of people. So it's just fun to see him talk about those elements, and seeing that kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. I didn't watch the B-roll and bloopers video cast commentary. It didn't really interest me to watch that, because I already had watched the gag reel, which was very, made for the DVD release, even including just a song playing throughout the whole thing. It's like a 5-minute long B-roll or gag reel, which obviously is just people sliding around and slipping around, and oh no, we're falling over, and oh, I messed up my line. That kind of, it's gag reels aren't fun to me. I don't think they're very fun. But in this case, it was like, unless it's like Jackie Chan, where it's like, he screws up a really impressive stunt and they just have fun with it, or it's like, this is how just, like, terrifying this experience is, stuff like that I find to be really interesting, but not in terms of this, of just people slipping and sliding and, oh, I accidentally said my line wrong, oh, let's have a laugh. It doesn't interest me that much. And the fact that they've mixed it with this song over the top of it, a song that has no relation to it whatsoever and has lyrics, so when people are actually talking, you can't hear what they're saying. And I despise the song as well. It's one that my colleague, an ex-colleague of mine, used to play at work, and I hate it. So I got through like a minute of it, and I'm like, I'm not. When I realized it was such a long gag reel, I'm like, I'm done. No, I'm good. Thanks anyway. Nice try. But there was a from location Joel Silver Reveals House of Wax, where he was doing the on set for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he introduces the film, and it's very let's have fun with cinema kind of thing. So obviously he talks about the previous films that the company for Dark Castle have made, and there's just this whole part where he's in a movie set and a car comes around and starts shooting at people, and then he of course gets hit by the car in the end. It's fun, goofy stuff that's like, this is a guy who's like kind of like Hitchcock or William Castle. Like, he clearly has fun with the stuff that he's making, or at least how he presents it. So I appreciated that. That was a good like older feature, like archival thing. But yeah, then the rest of them, you got Wax On, the design of House of Wax, the house built on wax, the visual effects of House of Wax. Alternate opening with Jennifer killed was interesting, because I'm like, who the hell's Jennifer? And it's just the girl who gets killed, and I think it's meant to be the girl who's shown a bit into the film, where one of the people is making a wax person, and it's clearly like a naked woman, and it's like, maybe it was her, because it seems pretty recent. But outside of that, maybe they just wanted the extra body count, and they were like, this would just confuse people because it would be at the start of the film and it wouldn't work. And I think the opening that they went for in the film worked better in terms of how it was filmed and how it's made and the effect of the film, but it also kind of ruins the twist of the film if you I don't know, twins. But that's pretty obvious, you know. It's more or less the impact of how they're twins that is more interesting. So yeah. But yeah, then you've got a slew. It doesn't mention it here, but there is a section for archival stuff, special features. So, as an overall, I think it's a pretty fun release, actually. It probably is just a 2K scan. I don't know. The fact that it doesn't emphasize it is an interesting factor to me. Usually they emphasize, 2K scan or a 4K scan. Maybe the film just looked good to begin with, so they didn't need to like fix it or anything. So again, there was no visual flaws or audio issues, so I had no problems with any of that. The special features were well produced, except for that one with the composer, which again, the information's good, but the audio issues, not great. So yeah. But as an overall, I'd suggest it. It's a fun film. It's a bit long, but at the same time, it's got some great kills. It's got some fun story, some fun characters. So yeah, it's not what I was expecting it to be, and I very much enjoyed it. It was also vastly different to the original. So yeah, as an overall, I'd suggest it. And yeah, I'll leave you there with this anatomy for Blu-ray. Thanks for watching. See you next time.